Welcome back to What Would You Ask podcast. My next guest, another one of those people that just said, you know what? I got nothing to do on a Friday night. So I think I'm going to travel down to 5 continents and 8 countries and do it without my cell phone and just see what happens. You know what I mean? No one can contact me. And by the way, I'm not only going to do that, but I'm going to take a boyfriend with me. That's a great idea. Oh my God. Women are so much smarter than us too. I don't know how Parker's smart. I don't get it. She went with Nate. You remember Jennifer Parker and Nate, right? They placed 4th on season 12. Seems like so long ago. What are they at 40 now or something? I mean, Jesus, no, it's not 40, but no, I said the seasons, not.
Oh, I thought you were climbing.
Parker's face was like, what? 40? No, I'm just joking about the season 12 seems so long ago. They finished 4th. And you know what I say about Amazing Race, or the race, as we say, the ones that do the race, the racers like myself and Parker. We say that anybody in the top 5, it's a win. It is. For the winner, you get it. You are the, top of the dog, top of the heap, whatever. But if you finish top 5, you're getting it done. You are getting it done. Officially, as you know her, Jennifer Parker, welcome to What Would You Ask podcast.
Thanks, Nick. How's it going? I'm super excited to be here.
I'm glad you're here, and we have a lot to talk through. We sent out some surveys when we find out that our guests have committed, and we got a ton of stuff back. And if we were just going to talk about you and Nate, we'd have a 2-hour show. So let's touch on that at the beginning, because I think when people, a lot of the questions, and we go through them, and it's very strategic. They're not just asking if you guys are together, because I think that they know you guys aren't, that you both have moved on. You have a beautiful daughter and a nice guy in your life. And Nate doesn't. He has a wife and kids. And I meant he doesn't have a nice guy in his life.
Oh,
that would be top, front page news. And then you go, no wonder why we've been fighting. The point is that you've both moved on since then, but we're talking specifically about The Amazing Race. And we're going to get to the end and when you guys had the live mics and all that stuff. But tell us a little bit about how the relationship, let me ask you this. This is a good way to start. Did the interaction, did the bickering take over the success that you had? It seemed like when you look back from afar, that was a lot of it, the bickering and the arguing were highlighted from an editing standpoint. And by the way, Amazing Race, in my opinion, does a great job. Just can't be 100% of the time. And I think this one, you might have, missed a little bit. Fair or not?
Yeah, I definitely think, we were like, kind of like bulls in a china cabinet. Because both of us are super competitive. So we just like put emotions aside, forgot about that we were even in a relationship, and we were just like full throttle. And it definitely was to our advantage to have that like crazy competitive driven spirit, because I think we got like the most second places on record. Yeah. However, we're humans, we're in a relationship, and we really just kind of like beat each other up along the way and just forgot to be sweet, but I don't know.
So you guys, you almost get knocked out like at the beginning, but other than that, you were really competitive. Some would say, and I being one of them, that maybe your speed actually hurt you. Like you guys were, you were super, you're both type A personalities. There's no question about that. Right. Go ahead. You were saying something? What?
I said, you think we're both type A?
Just a little bit. No, but I think that you were taking every as aggressive approach as possible for each leg. And that maybe is taking a step back and might have helped you out, because some errors were occurring with that just bust through the wall mentality. Fair?
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair to say. So when you say like our speed ended up hurting us, do you mean like on the first episode when we like made it to the mountain in Ireland, on the island of Inishmore? Or
no, I just meant overall. I meant overall the fact that you guys were just going at it, right? Not together, just going for it, like most of us would. But I hearken back to what Bates Battaglia told me, and that was that him and his brother Anthony, and they won season 22. Mm-hmm. They said we had to teach each other to read everything twice, right? because they were the same way. Two jocks, right? Hockey players, just go mentality. We're going to knock this task out. We're going to hit this challenge, and we're going to, and they had to train themselves that that's not going to work here. I mean, it's fun to be aggressive at times, but you also, when it's time to rip open the card and read it, we need to read it and take the time to do that. You guys seemed a little bit similar to that approach.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we because I was essentially more of the navigator and, Nate was the driver. So, unfortunately, I think we both thought we were each other's positions the majority of the time. And there wasn't a clear direction, on who was going to do what.
Got it. Was it true? And we got a lot of questions about this. Was it true that you guys came on the show to help repair your relationship?
Yeah. So, the Amazing Race was really a testament to if him and I were going to last. Unfortunately, he was young, dumb, and I'm not going to finish the rest of that. But in the beginning of our relationship, his ex-girlfriend kind of came into the mix, and we had like a stint where I didn't really trust him. And I was like, well, I don't know if this is going to work. And then randomly we ended up auditioning for the Amazing Race and kind of shared and opened up our story. And they were like, well, this would be great to see, if you can get through this, and this is going to show that you can get through anything.
And his mother, or your mother, some mother, helped you guys with that process, right? Was that a, kind of strategic move on sending these people away for a month and see if they come back, in love again? Or,
I never really thought about that. So it was Nate's mom actually who had seen the Orange County Register had an ad. And she's like, you guys should totally go audition for this. And we were like, what? No way. We're not going to expose ourselves on reality TV. Like, we already get in enough trouble as it is,
yeah,
in regular life. But yeah, something just got into us, and we were like, we woke up the next morning, we're like, you know what, let's do it. So we made it like a total fun experience. And I think offline, you and I talked about how that went at the casino.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, because I don't want to take up a lot of time. I want to talk to you about the experience too, right? I wanted to find out what your favorite country was and where you travel back, and some things that, that aren't Nate related, for God's sakes. Let's move on. There was a mic that was left on, and there was some, quotes, and I want to read it to you. And just, if you can hearken back to those times and days and just tell the audience what was happening here. It's all over. You're eliminated. And you said, we kill our relationship on the way. We weren't strong enough to heal it and finish the race. We just freaking killed ourselves during it, Nate. And he's upset and emotional. And he says, I know, Jen. And then you say, I feel like I'm doing like a movie part. I can play the role. We didn't even focus on our relationship. All we cared about was the race. And he was getting real emotional. And he said, gosh darn it. Did he really say, gosh darn it?
Yeah.
What a nice guy.
That's something I miss, because I hate cussing. Like,
Yeah,
I do not like cussing. I think it's like trashy.
Yeah.
So he would try to minimalize the cuss around me.
Gosh darn it is doing a really good job in those emotional states. I mean, I got to give Nate a little bit of credit there. Wow, that is amazing. But what was what I want to try to, because you're a very popular couple. I'm sure you know that, right? People know when they say Nate and Jen, they know who we're talking about when it comes to Amazing Race. What was happening right then? There's deeper, it was more to it than the race. There's more to it than the relationship. It was a combination of both. Was it the realization that this is really over? Because there wasn't, as we go on to the future, it really wasn't over. Tell us what was happening right then.
So I'm being brought back there right now. Like, honestly, that was such a monumental moment for me, because it was my birthday. So every girl knows, they want their birthday to go amazing and nothing to ever go wrong. And that really was one of those moments where it's my party and I'll cry if I want to.
Right.
But aside from that, we felt like we were never going to get out the whole time. Truthfully, we were just wow, this is our race, and it never really seemed like we were going to get out until that episode. We just were faulting on everything, taking wrong turns. I remember like my dad gave me this advice. If you're ever in a metro crowded city, like go down below and take the subway. And in Taiwan, the subway system is gnarlier than any subway system that we have here in New York or Chicago or anything. So we were like just flailing out of control. And so that brought us to, you know, when we finally got eliminated, it was just like, boom, we were just like kind of slapped in the face. And both of us were like, wow, we weren't accepting that it was really over, truthfully. And then when it is, because as soon as you get out, life changes. Yeah. You know, it's just like you feel so important and so part of this like incredible like thing. It's a crazy show. It's actually one of the most creative and well thought out shows that I've seen on television. So you feel like it's more than just a TV show that you're a part of. And yeah, I just remember being super disappointed at that moment. And then also thinking like, this is not going to work. Like Nate and I, like we both kind of realized like, yeah, it didn't help us become better in our relationship.
And then you go back home and you end up giving another shot. It ends up not working out. Then you find true love elsewhere, which is a happy ending for both of you. And that's all we care about, right? That's all. That's it. Yeah. Do you ever talk to Nate anymore? That's another big question from everybody. Any contact?
No, we don't have any contact at all. I know he lives like a couple cities away with his, cute little family. And I think they ended up having like triplets or something. So wow. I was like, yes, yeah. I dodged that one. Yeah, just kidding. But no, I wish him and his family the best. Like, honestly, after we weren't really, I wanted to do so many fun like events and talk shows and things, but he wasn't really into it afterwards. So I was kind of bummed because I wanted to stay active in the community and really like be a part of this creative thing. But he was like, no.
What was that? What do you get a sense of that for? Just because you guys weren't.
I don't want to exploit ourselves any more than we already did. And I'm like, well, the damage is already done, dude.
Yeah, I would think you'd want to. I mean, you're so impressive. It's not that you weren't impressive either. It's just that you guys were emotional. You're going through. That was part of what was attracting, I think, people to you was the fact that, are they on? Are they off? Are they on? Are they off? I want to see him succeed. I don't want to see him succeed. That it's very polarizing. So that's what but I would think it would be an opportunity for you guys to sit by each other and have a normal conversation like we're doing right now, as normal as you can have with me. Elsewhere. I would think that would. So you're nuts. Gosh darn it.
Did you Freudian slip? I'm nuts.
No, I said, Nate, you're nuts. And then I was taking your side of this. I think it's a good idea to do that. And then I said, gosh darn it. Jennifer or Parker, as I call her. I'm the only one that calls her Parker, by the way, is the first racer ever to be eliminated on her birthday. How about that?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, you are. That is one of your amazing race, or the race as we call it. That's one of your statistics. So let's get away from Nate, because obviously he doesn't want to be on the show. I don't know. Never asked him. What was a memorable moment? And I don't want it to be part of you guys bickering, but what was a memorable moment when you think of the Amazing Race? Tell us what you think about.
Okay, so like there's two. There's one that transpired my heartstrings, and then another one that was just like one of the most beautiful locations on the planet. So the beautiful location was in Croatia. That place is truthfully like a medieval paradise. And the way the beaches and the coastlines are set up, they're like rocky and castles, and like everything is just so, exotic and classy looking. And so we had a lot of downtime while we were waiting to take the ferry to Florence, Italy. And so we got to spend the day at the beach in Dubrovnik, Croatia. And like the way that the beaches are set up there is all rock. So you just like climb down a ladder, and then you just kind of wade in like a protected rock pool, kind of like similar to Australia's, the way that they do their little pools. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, I just remember being in heaven there. We were hanging out with Rachel and TK, and just getting to know, we're all like beach people. And it was just like truly such a beautiful experience there, and the food. But then like tugging on my heartstrings is I'll never forget when we landed and we were in Burkina Faso, and I got to be in a classroom with other children from West Africa, and we were what were we doing? Were they teaching me the words or was I teaching them the words? I don't even remember
I think it was a
now.
little both, but
Yeah, so we both had to teach each other like our
yeah.
language and words, and that was just like the cutest thing ever. And they were so sweet and so happy and like so eager and colorful and fun to hang out with, and they just followed us around like the whole time, and that was just like life transforming for me.
You traveled to a lot of different places. Was there one that you said, you know what, I'm going to come back here with my daughter and my guy, and we're going to just enjoy this? I'm not getting the opportunity right now to, because I'm with Nate. No, I'm not. Just kidding, Nate. I mean, just because we're in a race and we're doing this thing, but I'd really like to come back and check it out.
Yeah, well, I think like Italy, like I've already, I've been to Italy only on the Amazing Race, and there's just so much of Italy that I want to explore. Um, and like aside from Venice, aside from Florence, there's so many other like beautiful places there, like the Amalfi Coast,
Yes. Awesome.
Positano. So I definitely want to travel back to Italy, but then Lithuania, surprisingly, is like gorgeous. And I don't know where, but those people that are bred there are very, very, very like, well, like good looking, and the food, and it's just kind of like Sound of Music.
Really?
Gorgeous country there.
Wow. I just learned something. I would never ever guess that. That's
I didn't even know
interesting.
where I was going. I was like, Lithuania?
And then
Kind
you
of
went
like Ouagadougou. We all were like, we're going to Ouagadougou, Daga, Dooga, Daga.
That's funny. What did you learn about yourself during the Amazing Race? And I know you were in a relationship, so a lot of the lessons came there about the future of you and Nate. But what did you learn about yourself from the race itself? Anything? Did it show any characteristics or reveal anything about yourself?
Way to hit it home. So I'm an alpha female, and I think it's fun being sort of like a power woman, but it's also a struggle when it comes to my relationships. And I think I just learned to just kind of shut my mouth sometimes and be a little bit more docile and dainty and sweet. I think, remember, I was sharing with you in the past that my grandmother didn't talk to me for
Yes.
a year after the Amazing Race, because she's like, I did not raise you to be that way. You are a classy young lady, and da 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 da. So she was so mad at me, and I'm like, Grandma, it's the way that they edited me. Like, I'm not that mean.
That's so good. We had a lot of questions about, and by the way, I think you are who you are. And I think there's all, what I think is interesting about you and the few interactions I've had with you are the fact there's a lot of different, components of who you are that make up who you are. And I think being, I don't know, aggressive is not the right word, but this is who I am, take it or leave it. That kind of mentality is not a bad thing. I happen to have that characteristic, and my mother would tell me for years, and I would ask her, why do you tell it to my brother or my sister? Like, why are you only telling this to me? She would say, Nick, please think before you say something.
Yeah.
And that would be, I do. And even in business and in life today, I'd still, my wife would be like, could you please think before you say stuff? I just say it. And sometimes it's jokes, which I look around the room and go, oh, that must have been not politically correct. But today you can't say anything. God forbid. You don't offend anybody.
I know.
We have also, this is pretty close. I was interested in telling you this because I didn't tell you this last time. A lot of people, one of the question was, guess what she's doing today, or find out what she's doing today is one of the things. And do you have any idea what people thought you might be doing as far as an occupation? And this is more than 2 or 3 people wrote this, probably a half a dozen.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me a hint? Like, is it something like in the entertainment industry or something?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
What they came back with was people said either a reporter, like a reporter, or a talk show host, or a podcast host. Those were is she doing like in a guess? She would either be doing, and what people also wrote, like, I don't think she's a nurse. Somebody wrote that, which I think is just like, I don't know. It's so random, but they were just like something in the entertainment field. I don't think she's a nurse. That's what the quote was. It's like,
Oh my
all
God.
right. I don't know what that means.
I'm
But it was definitely, see, you knew that it was in the entertainment field. Why is
Yeah.
there some part of you that's in there that's
Those
maybe?
are my dreams. Like that's what and that's not why I went on The Amazing Race. Like I was genuinely just wanting to be a part of a race around the world. I wanted to travel.
Yeah.
But truthfully, from since I was a little girl, my dad said you're either going to be a weather girl, a reporter, or a lawyer.
Wow.
And so I kind of like wanted, I've always wanted that, but just never really known how to get into it. And I know it's just such a competitive, cutthroat industry. And so I just always had, my plan B to like, I have an education. I've been in medical device sales. I've done teaching. Now I'm currently an account executive for the home remodeling industry. And then I work for this company, House, which is super rad. It's like a startup tech company, but then I also run Rough Ties, my little doggy business. So I connect pets that need to be adopted, and we supply cute little neckwear and fashionable ties. And so we sell the ties to help get doggies adopted.
Speaking of your dog, when we were talking offline or off camera, um, Parker said, Nick, could you excuse me just a second? I have to let my dog into the room. And I said, okay. And the dog came in the room and she was talking to the dog on the floor, like, hi, Buffy, or whatever. I don't know the name of the dog. I mean, I know it. I'm just pretending like I don't. And she's going, hi. And I said, oh, you have your dog. Look, can I see the dog? And show them what you showed me. What did you show me when I asked to see the dog? Which made me think about if I followed up with a question, and naturally, are you stable? Because she said the dog was at the door, and then she was talking to it, and then she showed me the picture of the dog, and then she showed me the real dog. But it was kind of funny in the moment. I'm sure that it feels like we did this twice. Anyway, tell everybody what.
He was my gift. I got Rusty, and he's still alive, by the way. He's 14.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Tell us the inspiration. So Rusty was inspiration, wasn't he, for the whole thing? Yeah.
Yeah. So he, like, when we got back and we, got our winnings, I bought a little puppy. So I bought Rusty, and he was kind of like my little symbol of, the hard work that we did on The Amazing Race. And so he's still alive and kicking, but
Wow.
Everywhere that I took him, people would be like, she's so cute. She's cute. So like little dogs, everyone assumes that little dogs are girls. And I'm like, come on, like this is a manly little stud here.
Yeah.
So I just made him a couple ties like myself. And then everyone's like, oh my God, is he wearing a tie? That's so cute. So just for fun, I just started creating neckties for dogs. And then it kind of like, was a ripple effect from there. And my friends are like, I want one. And then I'm like, okay, well, I can't just make ties. I have to do good and give back to the community. So we have this little, movement thing where I match up with pet adoptions, and we host fashion shows. So the adoptable dogs will walk down the runway, and like I'll partner with other pet apparel fashion companies, and they'll be, all decked out walking down the runway. And then people will be like, I want them. Take me.
How do you get the dogs? Are they dogs that people find, and how are they shelter dogs?
Yeah, they're mostly like adoption agencies or shelters, like a Love Bugs Rescue.
Do you spray them or anything before they go down the runway? Are they clean? I mean, I think it's a great idea. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I mean, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The other question I have for you, speaking about dogs, is do you work from home?
I do.
That's good because he's 14, and I just want to make sure that every minute you're not working, you're spending with him.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's excellent. Last couple of questions. We know what you're doing now, so I don't have to ask you that. So have you since Amazing Race, do you guys get back together? Like, is there groups? Are you guys, there's no ties between the Amazing Race families, or like, is there any kind of,
You mean like as far as staying in touch, or like a Facebook group, or like
Well, yeah,
events?
anyway, I mean, like we do a bunch of other series. We do Shark Tank, and there's a Facebook page for just Shark Tank people that have been
Mhm.
on air Shark Tank, and they're to like share resources and they do business together, and it's amazing actually some of the
Yeah.
things that they do together as a group. And it doesn't matter if you're in season 3 or you're season 10. It's just that Survivor, the groups meet sometimes annually. Some of the different seasons meet together and pick a place, pre-COVID, and hopefully post-COVID, they'd continue that. I was just wondering if the Amazing Race teams do anything or if it's not.
I mean, I feel like initially, like our season at least like gelled really well. Like Bertram Van Munster, he was like, come on, guys, like I need you to butt heads more. Like, this is ridiculous. I've never had a season get along this well. So, like the cast, we all got along great. That season in particular, a lot of us were from like LA and Orange County. So we would get together after every Sunday and like all do brunch and get buzzed, because watching yourself on television is mortifying, especially if you're me. Yeah. But yeah, so like we stayed in touch and in contact, and like I'm still Facebook friends, with like a few of the people on the team, and we stay in touch that way. But I don't know.
That means she doesn't talk to anybody. Because I say that too. And by the way, I hate hearing myself.
Actually, she's up in LA. She's doing set design, so she's like killing it. I love how creative and beautiful and docile her soul is too.
I just interviewed.
I don't think they're together anymore. P.S.
What's that?
I don't think TK and Rachel are together anymore either.
There's something.
Which I thought they would be together forever.
I have a quick fact about that. Did Nate go to high school with them?
Yeah. Yes. So Nate went to high school with TK, and then also the first couple.
Begins with an S.
Stella.
Stella. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that somewhere. I didn't know if it was real, so I wasn't going to bring it up, but that's very interesting. Yeah, I don't. Speaking about seeing yourself on film, when I started this podcast in January, 2 things I realized. One is I need to shut up. So all you people thinking they're going to write it under everything, I get it. I don't know why I do it. The other thing is I don't really sound good. And so those 2 things is tough for a podcaster when you don't let the other person talk because you think you're more interesting, and then you don't sound good. That's not a good future, but I'm not doing this to make money.
What was the first compliment I gave you when we first talked? Remember, I was like, you have a great voice.
Yeah, you did say that. That was nice. That's when you liked me. Anyway, it was so nice to visit with you. I know you're busy and you're carving out some time because you have that great job and all that stuff. That's cool. And we hope Rusty lives till he's 25. And we wish you the best, because I think you're one of the best players. I don't think who you are is not what you represented on TV. I've got to talk to her a few times. She's a really cool young lady. By the way, she's older than I thought she was, which, I mean, that's a compliment to her. She's, anyway, Parker, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Nick. It was super fun. And also I just wanted to acknowledge the people that did write in and ask questions. It just makes me feel really special because, it's been quite a bit of time. So getting the opportunity to do this show with you and then hear that, there's still people out there that are watching and that are curious and have questions for me, it just made me feel special. So I'm very grateful. So extend my gratitude to them, please.
I will, but I'm going to ask you one other question because it's a perfect segue into this. I get a lot of people asking me, why, when you had on this person, did you not ask them to do one of the co-hosting shows that you do? And so I don't know if I've talked to you about this. I think I have. But occasionally we do myself, because I said I talk too much. I do this with someone else. So it would be you and I and someone from Amazing Race, or maybe even another one of our series. It kind of works better when you're from the same thing, because you can understand the plight of the other person and what they've gone through. And so we've done. I have a couple of gentlemen who are going to do it with me, and I need a couple of women that would like to do it with me just to break things up. And we're also starting to get some of the later seasons now too, and 30 something or whatever. I don't know where we are now. So I'm going to ask you, with the audience listening, would you consider doing that with me? And when we get into the first quarter next year?
Oh, I would definitely love to do that. Yeah, I'm totally into it. Thanks.
It's fun. We've done a couple with Survivor, and it's really fun. And there is folks that care to know, there's a lot less of me talking. There's the other two people talking. So it's really fun. And I get to listen too. So awesome. We'll look forward to it. See, guys, we got her hooked again. Nice. See, I take care of you guys. Thanks, Parker. Have a great day and week and happy holidays, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Nick. All right. Peace out, everybody.
We'll be back with What Would You Ask podcast in a second.